Okay. Step 1. Have an arena. Okay. Step 1. Have an arena. Or somewhere to jump. Step 2 is get your jump. Step 3 is get water. It's really important to have water, especially when it's hot. So make sure you drink water. And then you always want to warm up, just to get loose. It's gonna make your jumping a lot better, a lot smoother. It's gonna prevent injury, or try to at least. Yeah. I don't do a lot of warm up. I'll do like 5 to 10 minutes, because you don't want to do so much that you're out of energy by the time you're jumping, but you want to do enough. So, yeah. You also want to make sure you do about the same amount of warming up in both directions. Don't go 5 laps one way and then 2 the other way. Try and keep it kind of close. And also, when you canter, make sure to use both leads. That way your bad lead will get stronger. And you always want to be on the lead to the inside. So I'm going this way. My left leg is on the inside. So I'm on my left lead. Other way, right lead. So that's like my warm up. Not a whole lot. I'm out of breath already. And apparently my back hurts from yesterday, so hopefully I can still jump. So part of your jump is your approach to the jump. So like your takeoff, your canter, your trot, and like the angle you approach it at. You don't want to be jumping. You don't want to turn and then jump it sideways. You want to be straight. I'm gonna show you a bad turn and then a good turn. This is a bad turn. I was kind of like jumping it diagonally, which isn't the worst thing when you're doing isn't the worst thing when you're doing like a jumper course or you're trying to go fast, but it makes it easier if you're straight, less chance to knock a rail. So here's a good turn. I don't know if I'm the frame, but I'm straight and jumped. I may or may not have been in the frame. We'll see later. So, part of your warm-ups should also be doing low jumps that are like comfortable for you, but not, easy. You can walk over them. Like, yeah. I usually warm up a little bit higher than that, closer to like 80 centimeters, but we'll leave it for now. Another part of your approach is your takeoff. You don't want to be taking off too close, because then you have to like throw yourself almost straight up and then somehow go forward again, like in the air, which is not how it works. Unless you like rack yourself over the bar, it's really not great. It hurts, for me at least. And then You don't want them taking off too far, like say here, because then you're like, you know, a lot more power because you have to jump up and then stay up for a longer period of time. And you also have to like go faster so you can jump farther. I don't know where to take off the top of my head, but I'm guessing it's like around here, maybe. That way I have enough time to like get my legs up without having to like throw myself. Okay, so this is a short stride. Oh jeez. Here's a long stride. Jeez. Long strides can be fun, but it's also hard if you're trying to jump higher. It's just harder. Let me get like a normal stride for me. But theirs was comfortable. And part of finding that good takeoff point is being able to adjust your canter, which is why cantering is helpful, because you can make it shorter, or hold on, you can make it longer, you can make it shorter to get to your takeoff point. Because in a trot, it's harder to actually envision it, I guess. I kind of just hope for the best. So if you're trying to jump higher, canter it. Turn this. If I think I'm gonna get a bad distance to this, I can get shorter or longer if this is. I'm gonna take an example. So I'm cantering. I'm not sure, I kind of shorten and then lengthen a little bit again so I can get my takeoff point. It's better to shorten than to lengthen. If you lengthen, you often lose a lot of your upwards momentum. So it's better to shorten, but you don't want to shorten right here. You want the last stride to be kind of normal. As I'm getting an example of lengthening. Maybe. So we're cantering. I push a little bit. This example, but yeah. And then a big part is your canter, like quality. I see a lot of people canter very flat. That's not a great example. But they're like, maybe not a lot of like bounce and oomph in the canter. I see a lot of people like come like full on running at it, and speed is not the answer. You don't need speed to jump high. So you want your canter, and I have bugs. You want your canter to be like kind of not big but not small, and kind of bouncy. Kind of like, I'm gonna over exaggerate it right now, but like that's an over exaggeration. But the bounce is what helps you get the upwards motion and power. It's also harder to do that in a trot. You can't get as much bounce when you're trotting. That's why cantering helps for bigger jumps. I'm gonna try and do an example of a flat versus a bouncy canter. We'll see how this goes. I didn't jump at all. And then bouncy, which is how I usually jump. It's just a lot better. Yeah. Okay, so I had a lot of people ask about form tips. So we're gonna start with a low jump. And I do it two ways for low jumps. I either kind of come over with one leg and Yeah, kind of horribly. This one leg is here, one leg kind of like underneath me, and it kind of comes over. Or I have one leg here, and one leg come out behind me, like there. I'll do both. The first one I'm gonna do is the one where it goes underneath me. So. Like that. And it's good for lower jumps. It's okay for lower jumps. Higher jumps, you don't want to do that. And then here's the other form that I use for low jumps, which is closer to my high jump form. So I do it more often. And that. Like that. Also for low jumps, you should do some on your bad lead because you need that leg stronger. I think you should be able to jump on both leads, even if it's not the same height. It's a good skill. It makes it stronger for landing, and also just makes it stronger. Especially if you're doing like a hunter course, you're gonna need but to use both leads. This is my left lead, my bad lead. Oh jeez. I can't get my leg up behind me on my left lead, so I always tuck it underneath. Jeez. I'll do more of that later. I just do a lot more, but I want to do this video. So, I did a lot yesterday, so I'm okay. I see people, isn't that for higher jump? But I see people either bring both legs up like this, which is just not. You're getting kind of left behind. Bugs. You might end up like falling and sitting on the jump. And also, the hobby horse head is in the way of your knees, so you can't jump as high. So I would not recommend doing that. And then I also see people bring their leg over. That was a really bad example. But like halfway over the jump, they're like this, or trying to land, and this leg is like coming over instead of behind them, like twist in the air, and it's not pretty. And also you can get hurt more easily doing that. So yeah. Is that low jumps? Maybe. For form. I'll do this a few more times so you guys can see. Let me. I also like doing this exercise where you come one lead, routine, and then go back and do it on your other lead. But you need to have arena space. That was good for my left lead. Okay, so now it's at about 100 centimeters. So with high jumps, you want, so first find your good lead. My good lead is my right lead, so my right leg's in front. I take off my right lead. So I'm taking off my right lead. My left leg is coming up here. You don't want it like that, and you don't want it like down. You want it kind of flat against you. My back leg is first trailing behind, and then it comes up kind of behind me like that. And then you land, left leg, this comes over and land. If you want to practice it sitting, you can just, let's go on the ground. This goes here, this goes here. Just to kind of feel how it feels. You can do the opposite way too. This is how it would be if I'm doing my left lead for takeoff or for jumping. And you can just go both ways. Yeah. So, I'll do an example. Oh, jeez. This came up, and this trailed behind. You want to get, can I do this? You should be landing with this leg still behind you. You shouldn't be landing twisted because this leg's coming over too early. I'm gonna see if I can recreate that. I don't know if I can. I'll do it on my bad leg, because that's usually when it happens. For me. Don't do that. This is my good lead. That was closer. But did you see if this leg kind of came out like more to the side of me than behind me? You don't want that. One more time. I don't want to mess up my form. Not really. I tried. What else? High jumping? Maybe? High jumping? I think. Hold on. Yippee! Yippee! So for high jumping, your canter is really important. Remember the bouncy canter I was talking about? You don't want to be flat, you want to be bouncy. And you also want to like really like stomp into the ground and like push off. Oh, also so when you're doing your bouncy canter, don't go toe to heel like you do in the trot. Go heel toe. It gets you more power. Stomp and push off. And you don't want to be slow, but you don't want to be fast. And you also don't need a big run up. You're gonna get tired. So I usually, this is my jump right there. I'll start kind of by the there. I can't. Whoa. There we go. Oh. You can jump higher if you have sneakers. Okay. I think it's because it has like a sole, it's a little more bouncy. But for me, when I'm barefoot, I can only go up to like 115, maybe 120. Sneakers, I can go up to like 130, 135. So, yeah. Sneakers. I also find it helpful for high jumping to have longer reins, like hold it kind of at the end here so your arm can go out more, or just have one arm not holding them. My first time clearing 130 with a hobby horse, my arm was like and it helped me clear it. So I take this, I do one hand normally. You can do either hand. I usually do this hand. This hand holds this one normally. And then I just kind of grab it in my fingers as well. So now I have both. If you have really long reins, he doesn't. But if your reins are long, tuck this loop here too. You don't want your loop to be long and have your foot get caught in it mid-jump and then fall over. So, like this. And your arm will basically go wee, 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 wee. like that. Also, it's helpful. I should have mentioned this before. But working on your form is easier without the horse. Okay, so we're backtracking. I'll show you my left lead with the horse and then without. It needs work. And then without, it's a lot smoother. It still needs work, but it's a lot smoother. Over high jumping. Like, I think, you can at least jump, like, here on yourself, like upper thigh, because, like, I don't know how to explain it, but even if you don't jump at all, your body is still high enough off the ground because of your legs, you can clear it, if that makes sense. So, like, hold on. That'd be, like, down here for me. So, like, even if I didn't jump at all and just kind of ran at it and then lifted up my legs, I could still clear it in theory, as long as my legs are flat against my body. So there's that. So if you're, say, my height jumping here, you can go higher. Motivation. Yeah. But normally you can go higher than that because you will be pushing off the ground. So, yeah. I had more stuff and I forgot. So, more high jumping, I guess. So, I'll do this a few more times. And I do see, or I do it too, my form will, like, this leg will kind of wrap over, and this leg kind of goes up and over and follows it. So, not the worst thing, because your form is technically in the correct position, it's just how it goes over. It looks nicer if it's kind of all flat over it, but it happens especially when I get tired, I kind of just wrap myself over the bar. I don't know how this will look. Okay, that landing was kind of interesting. I kind of landed like that. Try not to do that, but if you do, it's not the worst thing. When you're high jumping though, you don't want to be leaning too far forward. Ow, bugs. Or you're gonna go flying down on the other side of the jump. Bugs, where's the bug spray? Ah. And you don't want to be going too far. Hold on. Okay. You don't want to be leaning too far back, or you're gonna get like left behind over the jump, kind of like this other form where you go both legs in front at the same time, and there's a higher chance of landing on the bar. Okay, hold on. Let me do. We're backtracking again to your like approach to the jump. Your takeoff point, I'll do it normal, long, short for this height too. This is gonna be short. This is how a horrible turn. You can get short. Jeez. That wasn't actually that short. But I took off. think it was. Fairly close to the jump. Kind of had to go up and then over. It really doesn't feel great. I'm like roll it up in the air. This is a long. Jeez. That was not too long, I don't think. I don't know, honestly. I don't want to land on the bar, so I'm not going crazy. I'll do normal one now. That was a little bit short, actually. But, okay. Still on your approach. Where's the jump? Right there. I want to show you my turn to the jump. I'm not going that far back. For like tall jumps for me, so like 130, I'll go all the way back, kind of stand by those plants. But for now, I don't need to go that far. Where's the jump? I am behind. Okay. This dude. Okay. Oh, oxers. Yeah, oxers. Hold on. Okay, so first of all, as you look, oh yeah, I can do 100 centimeter oxer, and the oxer's like that. That's not an oxer, okay? It's not. It's this wide. It's basically a vertical. If you had wider poles, it'd be a vertical. So my smallest oxers are this big, which is fairly wide. You could probably make it a little bit smaller, like there. But like this. Sometimes I'll do them like there. But why are these longer than usual? That's weird. Anyway, oxer. I find oxers helpful. For, you know, saying you like when you do your form, you like go up, and this kind of comes up and over, and it's not flat. Oxers are helpful for like fixing that. I have some videos where I go over oxers. My form's a lot better than over my verticals. By the way, vertical is a straight bar. Oxer is 2 bars. Cross rail is the X. That's it, basically. There's more, but oxers are harder than verticals. You gotta go farther. And go a little bit higher, actually, because you need to, if you take off, let's say you're jumping this normally, you kind of come here, you can't land right away. So you gotta jump and then anticipate coming down so you still clear it. That makes sense, probably. So, yeah. You also need to take off farther away and have a little bit more speed. You don't want to be crazy, but you need a little more speed. And then taking off, I don't know, here for verticals maybe? It's a little bit farther back. Oh jeez. I came a little fast at that and kind of got surprised by my own jump. So that's like the basics. And hopefully that was an example where my form kind of comes flat versus going, it's like up, down. Wee, 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 wee. Triple oxers are fun. I don't have another jump out here right now, but they're fun. They're just scary and hard. You can do combinations.
My-yahoo, 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 my-yahoo.
Sure. So beep, beep. Where's the camera? I can't see myself. There we go. No. There we go. Okay. Important thing. Bounces and one strides are different. Okay? For horses they are. For hobby horses, a lot of people call one strides bounces. I don't. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one. But let me see. Bounces are really close together. Like that. But this is not a one stride. Because you'd have to land here and take off also here. That's kind of what bounce is. On a horse, too. Yeah, a little bit. So let me show you. I kind of do like that. So yes, my legs probably come out in front of me. That was a bad example, but basically you're doing this thing where you go, this leg is here, and this leg kind of comes under you. It's gonna be a little bit farther apart. But that's what I'll call a bounce. It's like really fast. Like that. It's fun, but also kind of hard. I've done like bounce, 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 one stride, two stride to an oxer. That's really fun. But this is a bounce. And then a one stride. It kind of differs depending on who's doing it because I have longer legs. My comfortable one strides are longer. So, So this is about a one, but you get a full canter stride in between them. So I'll demonstrate. Oh, those are a little bit close. So that was a small canter stride, but still, full canter stride versus just a pow and jump. Now a little bit. Yeah. So this would be wide for some people, but for me it's comfortable. Oh jeez. I'm surprised I didn't fall. Tips for one strides. You don't want to go fast. You want to have a short stride coming into it, bouncy, and be kind of collected in a sense. You don't want to be running at it. You want to just kind of come into it. That way, it's a lot easier to land and shorten. So you land, if you're coming in fast, you're landing farther away, you gotta be even shorter, but you have less time to shorten because you're already like here and like here. You can't really shorten yourself. Try and not lean forward too much. Like try and be more straight while going over it versus here. So that way you can be down and ready to go to the next jump versus land from one, have to go to the next one. Focus on one jump at a time. Don't be coming over this, or don't be coming after this, already thinking about that jump. Like, know that it's here, but be like, okay, this jump, you land here, okay, great. Now that jump. Because if you're focusing on just that, you're gonna knock this, or come into this really sloppy and not be able to clear that. Let me come into it fast and demonstrate, and then I'll do it normally. So this is fast. And now what you want to do, like I have a big stride, I'm kind of, jeez. And then I do, that happened. And now I'll do it normally. Still a little bit of a wide stride, but a lot better than last time. As you can see, I'm too tired for this. Let's do a two stride now. I gotta make sure it's in the frame without dancing around. Just gonna skip this back. We're gonna estimate and then I leave space for landing, so maybe there, I don't know, and then hop. That was really weird. Usually it ends up being short for me for whatever reason. Like doing that, it's still short. I don't know why. This is supposed to be 2 strides, so it's like you land, 1 canter stride, 2 canter strides, boom. Okay, this is close to 2. I could do it in 1 if I tried. Should I try? I want to try. Okay, this is not how I normally do it, but I want to try. So, it's supposed to be a 2 stride. Jeez! I find that fun. Okay, let me do it normally now. This is how it's supposed to be ridden. One, 2. Oh, that's a really short 2 stride. We're just gonna boop. There we go. Okay, I'm missing stuff. I know I am. Random tips. For videoing, it looks prettier if you're like kind of facing the camera. So if I jump off my right lead, so here, the camera's on my right side and it looks prettier. If it's on my left side and I'm doing my right lead, it doesn't look as pretty. I'm like, yeah.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
I forgot a bunch of stuff. Oh. I try and always end my jumping sessions on like a good note, so when I finish something, so if I'm knocking this a bunch of times, I'm not just gonna stop because I knocked it. I'm gonna try it until I get it. If I'm like not even close to getting it, I'll put it down a little bit. But if I'm getting really close, I'll just keep doing it until I get it. Like the 110 course yesterday, took me about 100 tries, but I was getting super close every try, just like a few jumps I would knock because I'm not turning well or not careful enough. And I was tired, but eventually I got it. 1 strides help with your strength a lot. They also help with keeping bounciness because you lose momentum really fast while doing a bunch of 1 strides. Like when I did 12 in a row, I had to really focus on staying like forward and not like taking everything from a walk, which is what happened before the last time I did it. So 1 strides help. They're hard, but they help. Grids also help. So doing like say a jump, 1 stride, jump, 2 stride, jump, or doing bounce, 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 1 stride, jump, 2 stride, jump. Trotting or cantering for like long periods of time. So like trotting for me, like around the house, I don't know, 10 times for 5-10 minutes straight helps with strength and stamina. I have no stamina. I also like when you're done, I'm not done yet, but like just walking, like if you just finish and then lay down, you're gonna get stiff the next day. I had more stuff to say when I was imagining this, but I forgot. So, yeah. I'm gonna do some more jumps because I have like not jumped a whole lot. You can watch, I guess. I've been doing a lot of like 1 strides and I hit that 2 strides and courses all this week. Also, it's good to have some sort of plan when you're jumping. I know last year's when I like really got into it, so I kind of just high jumped almost every day, which it wasn't the worst thing, I guess, but I was sore a lot. I was tired while I was actually riding. I didn't like get a whole lot of experience, I guess. That's not the word. But I didn't do that. I also didn't jump with the horse. I used Echo or Nick's like twice that whole summer. And so I like had to kind of learn how to do everything with Echo this summer before the championships. What else? Lead changes? I kind of forgot that. Do that real quick. Lead changes, I'm guessing you know what it is. Whoa. Hi Echo, how's it going? You're going here, one lead, and then you're swapping to your other lead, but over a jump. It looks like this. This is going from my right lead to my left lead. This is a really poor approach, but like that. That was kind of a sad jump. I did not like have a bouncy canter at all. I don't know if you guys could tell, but kind of a not very bouncy jump. I'm gonna do my left to my right this time. It's not as pretty because I left lead's bad. It's not a better canter. That was actually pretty good for my left lead. I don't really know how to explain it, but like you're basically doing one of the knots do and having your both legs kind of under you or a little in front of you at the same time. And then, so they go up, they both come up here, and then you just switch to demonstrate. So you're going canter, canter, and this goes up. They're both here. So before they were like this. Now they're both here, so you have the option to stay like this or go like this. You choose this one. If that makes sense. Probably not. I'm really bad at explaining things. Also, I don't know why. I like walking up the jumps. Like, I don't know. I like. I just thought of something and I forgot it. Random exercise you can do if you don't have a whole lot of space. Look in the center for once. The jump here, I'm gonna do 100 because I don't want to put that up. But basically, if you have a small arena, not a lot of time, for fun, whatever, this is what I do. There was a day where I had like literally 2 minutes to jump. I was in like sweatpants or something, put on shoes, got a jump out, set it up, and did this for a minute, and then went back inside. So, here's my little it's hard, but it's helpful in practicing for one strides where you have a lot of them in a row, close together. It also helps like getting your distances, finding them, because you kind of just gotta go with what you got, because yeah. It's helped me kind of like be able to take off from a little long or a little short versus only being able to clear it from the correct spot. Also for high jumping, we're backtracking again. Yippee! A lot of people will hit it, me included, because they take off too long and like land on top of it and they start going down. Like the jumps here, they jump up and then start coming down before the actual jump, versus going up and down, or they'll take off short and like jump, hit it, and then go all the way up and then come down. So it's hard to get like that perfect spot. But it gets easier like struggling to do a course or something, lay down, sit, something for like 5 minutes to recharge. But sit kind of out and like kind of stretch so you stay warm. Like, you don't want to be just like this for 5 minutes. You want to be kind of not active, but still warm. Even just this. Because I'll get, after yes, I get super stiff and it's really hard to jump afterwards. So I said to drink water a lot, and I haven't drinking any water. Hold on. Do as I say, not as I do. Water ASMR. This is gonna be a really long video. Jumping tips.